Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome this afternoon. I'm at the desk, and our mics are live. I'm here with Diem Brandon, and we're going to get into our second match of the doubleheader that Envy has had to withstand today.
You ready, man?
I am
Do
ready.
you know about it?
I know about. So there have been some changes.
I just found out.
Yeah. So first of all, before we get into some of the changes that are on the side of Envy, really interesting to note. We talked a lot about, the stipulation and everything behind the doubleheader, and we said, look, we're just going to end the game in like 19 minutes because we don't want to play all day. So they understand.
But Team Allegiance, role swap.
Oh yeah,
Role swap. For the first time since season 0, I want to say, right? DaretoCare will be leaving the jungle and finding himself on support. Lassiz will be leaving the mid lane and finding himself in the jungle. And Incon will be taking the mid role.
love it.
Wow.
Love everything about this. Not only
This was their roles.
so
In
exactly
season 0.
before we get into like what players are playing where or whatnot, just get into the idea of Allegiance have been performing decently. They've had a spot that they're failing at, and they notice it, and they work to try to make drastic changes to try and fix it. Before you even get into the analysis of what they did, just the fact that they did something as drastic as this, I already love it.
This is very cool. And again, they are not unfamiliar to the roles. Incon has played this not only for the Envy squad for a little while in season 2, but originally played this role way back when Shing found him before he switched to support. DaretoCare was the original support player for the cognitive roster, a roster that Jeff Himla eventually replaced. And then of course Lassiz was a jungler for I would say most of his Smite career.
Yeah, people mentioned how when Lassiz came into the mid role now for Allegiance, that he used to be a mid. Everybody knows him for the most part as a jungler.
He's a jungler.
I mean, he's a jungler. When I got into Smite 2.5, 3 years ago now, Lassiz was only a jungler, right?
And when he wasn't jungling, I mean, he hadn't done the mid role since, before he was on the Juice squad in 2012. I mean, he was playing, in that duo lane, obviously a 2-1-2 meta with Allied. He likes physical gods. So I'm wondering how it's going to go. Envy's ready to swing.
It's fun.
Let's jump into picks and bans. Allegiance trying to switch it up, going against the newly rostered Envy.
So we should bring up what gods that these players are known for in their respective new, old roles. Definitely keep an eye out for. I would say keep an eye out for DaretoCare's Athena, but that's just Athena in general.
Geb.
Lassiz always has had the Thors, obviously, but he played Bastet. Even Najah back in the day.
Dude.
So now that he's popular now, expect some of that. And then as far as Incon in the mid, well,
Isis.
sorry, buddy, Isis.
Yeah, that's all he had. It's just Isis.
That's his jam.
Well, no, during Worlds, or rather the relegation for Worlds, when he most recently played mid, he played 2 gods, Zhang Kuei and Janus. For some reason, the Janus never came out.
Right.
It was only playing Zhang. It didn't work out. A lot of people attribute their loss to that repeated Zhang pick. So it's likely that Team Allegiance is going to look for that God of Doors.
Not the first time, honestly. I mean, a lot of people look at Enemy's loss in the finals as the repeated Zhang pick.
Yeah.
There's just something about repeated Zhang picks that don't always line up. Envy,
Although,
first pick.
Chaos's teleport behind the Fire Giant to get that kill in Paradigms games. Just like, what in the world, dude? Like, that was such a good
That's what he
play.
does, man.
He's a crazy kid. All right, so Jan is going to be taken by Envy. They know it's going to happen too. Stealth going to grab it away. Team Allegiance to answer.
Actually, that's pretty interesting. I wonder if Envy did know about or does know about the before they play this game. Game 2, obviously, they're going to know.
I'm going to see.
Game number 1. Should be interesting because obviously these are things that might help the team if they're keeping it under wraps at first.
Okay, so no confirmation.
No confirmation either way. Team Allegiance, though, they're going to take Raijin, so Lassiz, or excuse me, Incon, the first time in mid in a while, will opt for the newer god.
I like it. Raijin, very hard to deal with, tons of burst damage, technically a frontliner, and Serqet.
Lassiz.
There is a famous video that I think Kelly or you made that involves Lassiz's Serqet.
Probably Kelly.
It was, I think it was Kelly. She made a video of like these weird camera angles and, a Serqet sitting in stealth for a little while, and he's the one that comes out and finds this ridiculous double kill. But that was Lassiz
Did it
that
look
made
like
that
there was
play.
a lot of work in the video?
Yes.
It was Kelly.
Okay. Apollo from Team Envy. Consider this a flex pick. It could be going to solo, but I don't know if that's really Omega's MO.
It's definitely not Omega's MO, and thankfully, they're good. I acknowledge that. I just don't like them in solo. Hunters in solo, lame city.
I love it.
Of course.
I mean,
you
I could
would-
do without the throwing dagger,
Exactly.
but I love it.
See,
Hunters are fun.
I just have beef with throwing dagger. Khepri, however, doesn't have beef with much. Makes it through picks and bans and will be selected. No Odin to shut him down and no Ao Kwang just yet.
And there's the Athena pick for DaretoCare, or most likely DaretoCare. We're
Yeah.
assuming that game 1 this will take effect.
Now, here's an interesting thing that I really like about what EnVyUs did here. Serqet is selected, and so since there's no execute, since, all right, fine, you're going to jungle Serqet. You really don't want Ao Kwang? You sure you don't want Ao Kwang? Fine, we'll take Khepri, dude.
By the way, confirmation from production. Apparently, the admins were not even informed beforehand, so it's very unlikely that EnVyUs were in the know for this
Right.
first game. So, with that, I'm going to assume. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so these picks and bans are happening from Envy without any knowledge of that there's going to be a little mix-up. A Wheelish will be banned away from Mask. We'll see. Guan Yu, take it off. You got to take off Guan Yu.
Very hard to deal with. Lots of healing, good control. Makes Raijin a little bit safer, so very smart ban there. Osiris. Wow.
I think Guan might be the best team god in the game.
I mean, he's healing. He's constant slows. You can't deal with Tallow Assault. His ultimate is the highest physical hitting attack in the game. Like
One of the best initiates.
Yeah.
And, Tallow Assault, more than just damage, rips out those protections. I think, and, best god in the game is just like best player in the game. It's too wonky to really call, but
Sure.
Guan Yu definitely,
He's up there.
definitely one of them.
Very high pick ban rate still as Ho Yi gets banned. 91% still for him.
No Yi.
Yeah, exactly. Nice job. Team Allegiance to answer. They're still looking for their hunter and likely their solo laner, and it's going to be Vamana.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The one constant, 3 players have switched roles. The rookie hasn't, and the new player in the solo lane, Mattypocket, the pickler himself, he has been a major part of why I enjoy watching this team this year.
Yeah. I mean, his growth as a player from the
Oh, yeah.
first week. Whoa! Wait. Oh, it says envious. It's supposed to say eager. Production, come on, guys.
No. So the Ratatoskr pick, I'm absolutely hoping it's for Omega. Like we said, usually not his style, but I would just love to picture Omega looking at Divios and going, anything you can do, I can do better.
Like he's
Because
been
that's-
doing since he won Worlds.
Because that's the style. That's Omega's style. But most likely going to be a frontliner. We'll see. Ratatoskr likely wind up in the jungle. Last pick for Envy going up against Omega will be all right.
Very basic. Very basic pick. Matt's going to be playing Thor. He had a pretty good game in the first game, so
Yeah.
running it back. Team Allegiance, final pick, looking for their hunter, Oceans. Let's see. Who do they get? Medusa. Okay.
Works
So a
out.
strange comp.
Oceans has a good Medusa. Oceans has a very good Medusa.
A strange comp. Going to be hard to deal with. Athena Medusa combo.
course.
Vamana for the back line. Serqet removing any kind of healing. The issue here is Serqet versus Khepri is pretty rough.
3 taunts, 1 Medusa. Love it.
That's true.
Somebody's looking at the snake. Somebody's going to get caught looking.
That's true.
I want to hunt. Like, that is going to happen. Unless, less likely off Raijin. A little bit more likely with Serqet. Obviously going to shoot for Athena. So we'll see. Yep, everybody
yeah,
lands
wow.
exactly where we expect them to.
It's true. The rumors are true.
It feels so good to be watching Lassiz in the jungle again.
Look at this.
So I have said repeatedly that I think Lassiz is one of the he's a streaky player. He's not exactly the most reliable. He'll go 1-5, but he'll also go 50-1.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather have that in my jungle than my mid lane.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. If you get to end game, your mid's going to do whatever.
Yep.
But if you get to end game as a jungler that's fed, things are a lot easier. And look at he's like, I'm supposed to be over here, right? I'm the mid laner. Haha, just kidding, guys. Bye. Good. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Celebration. ALG, you can accuse these guys of a lot, but you can never accuse them of not having fun with the game. At least sometimes it seems that way. Everybody's got their moments, but I don't know. I really feel that Matty specifically brings a lot of anti-jadedness. I
Yes.
can't think of the word, but
I think
sort of
I'm with you.
Takes some of the jadedness that a lot of these players have garnered over the years, and Matty's existence winds up getting that.
By
off.
the way, everyone takes weird picks and weird metas, and they put them in my weird games, and my ranked games are always messed up. If you guys want to copy pro players, please copy what Lassiz just did.
Yeah.
He hit the small one, not the big one, to start the aggro early, to ensure that Matty can begin his damage early, and he pulls him back to group them up to get the death bane for maximum damage. That's what I want to see you guys do.
No wasted damage, multiple basics on the same unit. Love the small things.
And,
look
at
Matty
this guy.
Pocket. Look what he's playing.
A little blue baby.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
And he
He's
might
also
be dead.
Yeah, that's...
Omega actually missed one auto attack there. It might have been enough. That potion was ticking.
I don't know if it was enough. Close, though.
It was the big one.
Too close to call.
It was the big one.
Close
Right,
to
you're right, exactly.
Which...
Omega's going in.
Oh, yeah, this...
He missed.
All right.
He missed just barely, too. If he hit that, that was a kill, because that's the acorn that slows. And Matty at level 3. Can we actually hover on Vamana here? I want to see if he took that clear the path. And no, he level 2 umbrella rang. That is very strange.
So that right there, it shows he's changing up his game so that he doesn't have to use the cone ability.
Right.
Because he'll just walk into Ratatoskr damage.
Exactly. When you use Armored Umbrella, it forces you to be on the side of the enemy creep wave, way out of position. Umbrella Rang lets you be a little bit farther back. Cyclone's been very low here, but look at the bait.
Oh, yeah. Nobody in the jungle just yet, but hey.
Look at the bait, dude.
Throwing dagger crit.
That whole time, Oceans even knew it. This is why they didn't push very hard for that kill, because that med was still there, and if he committed, Cyclone was going to be safe.
Yeah, always have to watch out for that meditation.
But there is another meditation. DaretoCare has one as well, ensuring that there is a fair amount of control. DaretoCare getting a clean auto attack off.
I'm so interested to see DaretoCare in the support role because I liked him. I've always liked DaretoCare as a player. I liked him in the support role, and when he made the change to jungle, I maintained that he was one of the better ones on his good days. He
is a brilliant player.
He just hasn't had one of those good days in a while, but you notice his decisions always seem to be on point. He was just missing his stuff.
There was a point in time where the snipe squad of Allied, Incon, who else was like Xing. They were going to beat the old COG roster, and the literal only reason they didn't was DaretoCare. DaretoCare jumped into a 1v4, stopped the Titan from dying at like 3% health, gave enough time, blocked enough shots for Barracuda to respawn, and found like a triple kill out of it, and they turned it around and won that game.
I remember exactly that game.
Barracuda, you casted that game.
Yep. Barra was playing. Oh man, what a good match! And that's why I'm excited to see Dare back, because his like decision making and willingness to sacrifice himself has always been there.
Yes. Even
this season where he's struggled with his just execution. And I mean, not for nothing. Athena, you gonna miss those abilities? I don't think so.
No, he's not. I mean, you might miss a preemptive strike here and there, but
sure.
Defender of Olympus isn't on you, and then there's a taunt, right? Those are the only things you really have to worry about.
Love that Allegiance has the flexibility to be able to actually make these role changes. Is it permanent? Is it just for one game? We'll see. But having that ability to just do that is very... not a lot of teams can go, all right, 3 of our members are going to switch roles to roles that they've gone on big stages with before.
Yeah, right? Exactly. They've played on some of the biggest stages Smite has ever had, too. I mean, launch tournament, all 3 of them played in these roles.
So definitely...
Oh, no, Incon, I think, was support then.
Was he?
I think Incon was support then.
It's possible.
Who would have been the mid laner for Snipe?
Jerby,
yes.
Damage coming out of the mid. Harpies, those ones went to Raijin. You can see the way it dies. The, like, electrified
Oh,
move.
look at this. They're going for it. And DaretoCare immediately out of there. Very smart play. No way to catch him there.
Yeah.
Nice job.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just the understand. You can sit there and go, okay, I'm going to dash towards the enemy Gold Fury and make my way around, or you just take the safe option and burn the Athena ult. That's the decision making I'm talking about. Very obviously smart stuff.
And he didn't need to back either. He knew that there was, decent gold on the map, so he goes toward the right side for the back camps. Lassiz gets to go towards the left side, probably going to share those with Incon. They're going to keep up this pace. This is very good.
Over there in the solo lane, Mattypocket actually dancing very well with the Ratatoskr. Down about 200 gold.
I don't think either of these guys are getting kills at this point. Not in this lane, at least.
Yeah, it was... Matty learned very quickly early on. He's like, oh, man, EnVyUs beat me with this thing. Okay. And then he tries to fight Omega real quick, realizes that's not going to work, and now he's going to play...
Did Eager take a game off of Envy?
No.
No, okay. I was going to say. Wow.
No, but yeah, Matty... That Ratatoskr was a little bit rough on him.
That mischievous game he's going to play. He slowed but cleared the path, and that's something to note as well. You'll notice not all the acorns came out. There is a short amount of frames that are a ramp-up time, and if at any point you are interrupted in that cast, only X amount of acorns, if any, will come out. There have been plenty of times where I've lost that cooldown completely.
And it works like a shotgun where it's all, each individual shell or scatter acorn, whatever you want to call it, will deal damage.
Yes.
So if you're only able to hit 4 acorns, it's not the same as the full move.
Right, if you hit the full move, it's hundreds.
Yeah.
Cyclone dealing out with Oceans. Oceans dashing away from that one, getting the brunt of the damage.
But look what Cyclone's able to do off of that. He pushes out just a little bit. First blood goes to a mask. Caught out in the jungle is the Serqet. And the Thor will get credit for that one.
First blood going to Thor, never something you want to see.
Nope.
See,
Nope.
4,100 gold now tying himself with Omega slightly above Matty, and they're kind of looking Gold Fury. Omega in a much better position as well. Are they going to go for this?
Oh, they're going to go for this. But the ward. Look at that ward. Making them just look silly.
Is that their ward?
No, that's Allegiance's ward.
And DaretoCare baiting it out. Could be in some trouble here. Has to recharge the preemptive strike. Should be able to get away from this one. Ult coming out. Mast in a lot of trouble,
Huge
taking a ton, but he does get to the sky, just barely. Nothing gained there for Envy. Legions forcing out some ults.
Great ultimate from Incon, or rather just superior positioning from Allegiance in general. Able to create that funnel of Envy, just to bang the drums down the middle.
Lassiz and Mattypocket, full health, full mana, and of course their ultimates available, same as Dare, which means they could group up and try to get a kill onto this Ratatoskr.
That was Envy's ward. It was the SWC ward is red, so I just assumed it was Allegiance. But
wow, okay.
Because all the players were covering it on the minimap.
Right.
But yeah, that was Envy's ward, so they knew exactly where that Athena was, just waiting to pick Dare.
I heard Lassiz. Yeah, I was going to say, I heard that ambush stealth come out.
Lassiz has one of my favorite Serqet plays of all time. He sat there, I think it was that Kelly video you were talking about, where he just sits invisible by the mid-harpies for so long.
That was it.
He just sat there because he knew the enemy was going to come.
Ocean's in a pretty good spot here as the rotation. CycloneSpin very low, not getting out of this one. Lassiz credited with the kill.
Teamwork.
And a good bait by Oceans. He knew he was in a losing fight. He put himself out of position with very little mana, but still able to control it. A hard rotation from Blue, but they will find nothing for it.
I've mentioned Mattypocket growing a lot, but I think that that's sort of the jam out of Allegiance as a whole. And watching Oceans as well, he was very willing to take the fights early with Zapman. Wound up losing those fights early, and what he learned from those engagements were how to judge whether or not he's going to win the 1v1 engagement. And so when you saw him fighting against CycloneSpin, he turned tail very quickly. He was like, "All right, I'm behind like one basic, and that's enough."
Right, exactly.
And so that in that last situation, Envy might have been able to say, "Hey, Oceans is losing this fight, and he's not running away. What's up here?"
I can't tell if Omega actually wants to back or not. Can we actually see Golden Hand, please? That should give us a better idea. Ratatoskr sitting about 1,000. If he goes into Breastplate here, this would be a decent back because that gets him Silver Breastplate at 975. But otherwise, I don't really see him actually wanting to go back.
Nah, and he's got tons of sustain with that green acorn. Definitely the one that all solo laners elect to go. Just allows you to stick up there in lane pretty much forever.
It's my least favorite acorn, too.
It's
boring acorn.
It's boring, but it's effective.
It's so effective.
It's so lame.
Topaz, though.
Look at that.
Oh,
Jump
Lassiz,
going to be correctly read. Very noisy character, Serqet.
That 30-yard dash right there gets him out of danger. Omega able to find Sanctuary under his tower.
Lassiz is now looking for something else. 1-1-0 on the Serqet. Still lagging behind the enemy jungler just a little bit. Half a level and 400 gold, so to speak.
CycloneSpin right now, just sitting in the lane, trying to control.
With that said, though, Thor definitely has a better earlier game than Serqet. She's more looking to deal damage in the mid and the early late game, rather than Thor, who's just, well, frankly, he's just good all the time.
They're in some trouble. Decent combo coming out. We're going to get a Stone Gaze. Nothing doing from Oceans. DaretoCare escapes cleanly.
Oceans. Excellent ultimate. Did absolutely nothing as far as offense is concerned, but zoned out Janus perfectly. Basic attacks zoned out the rest of the enemy. No kill happened because of Ocean's presence. If any other character was there besides Ocean's Medusa.
Look at that. Nice shot. And a missed abduct gets Lassiz out of danger as he uses his ambush over the wall. And very smart of him not to use that ambush immediately. If he had just burned it and he got hit by a wall or an abduct or anything to interrupt it, his chance of escape would have been very, very limited. The Cobra's Kiss gave him enough time to get out of there smartly. Very good play by Lass.
And a lot of that has to do with this. I've noticed that these players just seem so damn comfortable. They just look exactly like they are comfy, knowing what they're doing what they're doing.
DaretoCare jumps into a wall. He immediately tries to get that open. He couldn't find a teammate. His taunt's going to be good. Is he able to get out of there? It looks like. Yes, Incon creates a small amount of space for him to escape. The Mez doing just good enough.
1-on-1 still the kills. Nothing too extravagant. And the left-hand Harpies going to head the way of Envy. Incon caught in a portal. He'll take a huge poke from MLC. But honestly, nothing too ridiculous.
Omega trying for it. Decent damage traded between the two of them. I think Ratatoskr is, I think, now past the point where he's like really a scary dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, now I can kind of just trade. Gold Fury getting started up here. In fact, very low. Ocean's going for it. Not going to find a stun and stolen.
Got to keep your eyes open on that one. CycloneSpin answers with a single kill.
The second or third best ability in the game for Gold Fury. I would say Isis maintains top with Circular Protection, and then you have Lightning Storm, which is, you can't stand in it.
Short boy Bacchus.
Well, all right, just calm down.
Bacchus.
But when you have a Medusa, it not only does a ton of damage, by the way, DaretoCare again getting out of danger with a perfectly baited dash into ultimate.
He just gets it.
I love it. But the Stone Gaze forces you to not only do a lot of damage to anyone facing you, but it forces them to turn around and stop dealing damage, and that's the key.
That's a big deal.
Good steal coming out from Oceans, and with that, we got an even game. Let's check the graphs out.
Yeah, look at that. I love that. I love that dip down. You do see that kill for EnVyUs, but Allegiance very, very quickly even that up with that Soul and GF.
CycloneSpin a level advantage over Oceans. Kiki level advantage over Dare. Everyone else, it looks like, is even. No, actually, Mass just getting into level 12 over Lassiz is level 14. Or, I'm sorry, level 11 and 14 for the... well, I was going to say both solo laners. Matty just got a level. So Matty actually in the lead over Omega right now, thanks to that Gold Fury.
Wow. That is not something I thought we'd be saying today.
No.
Not something I thought we'd be saying today. And that's with in mind that I have been the #1 Pickler fan of this season. I just think, Omega's Omega.
I mean, if you think about solo laners, your mind must go to Omega.
I love this so much.
No one does this.
He's willing to just sit here.
And you should.
Keep it. Is he close enough to get farm?
Well, yes.
Love
and
it.
He did. And
no
he
downside to that at all.
Oh, Incon. Oh my God, not enough damage.
I thought he hit it.
He didn't, just so close. Incon will take not a double tap. In fact, we'll take a small amount, but does burn his purification. Might make things a little bit more difficult for him, especially at level 11.
It's only been 13 minutes and one game, and this is the most unfair question I'm going to ask you today.
You got it.
Allegiance's role swaps, is this a good look for the team?
Honestly, I can't tell. And while they are doing better,
early,
considering the fact that they're holding an even game against a squad that is obviously, I think, favorited to win, you got to think that because this is their first game in these roles, that they're playing much more openly than they would. MLC Stealth taking a lot of damage. Portal just barely getting him through, and that was a very deep portal. That was very close to 100 feet. Mask in some trouble here, and we'll be fine.
Nice ultimate from Khepri. Here comes Omega. He's going to land in the middle.
Thor's ult doesn't go off either. He still has that for reinitiate if he doesn't back. Just barely escaping his Incon.
And the Legions still want to take this fight. However, CycloneSpin, the one that's doing the damage. 2 for the Hunter. Can he find the third? Doesn't matter.
Like
Mask
I said,
is going to be there.
Look at this guy. They think the ultimate's down. You're not safe here. There is no Oasis. He's just going to try to escape. Both of them able to get back. And the big baby putting the damage into it. He's going to cancel. Looking for the Armored Umbrella. Will find it, but trades out in an extremely not worth it play.
3 kills for the Hunter. Double kill, and then the follow-up a little bit later on to the solo lane. EnVyUs CycloneSpin finds himself very far ahead. 2,300 gold for the team, and they're going to push a tier 2 tower.
Guaranteed. Oceans does not have his ultimate. DaretoCare is coming in, and they could try for something here, but they're really putting themselves at risk.
Mask getting hit by that Defender of Olympus is a problem if they're able to deal the damage, but Omega makes sure that Allegiance is not able to deal the damage.
MLC Stealth on notice here. Taunt going to be good, but not in time. Incon took a small step there and not enough time to lock him down. One more shot's going to do it through space and time. Won't be it, and Omega accidentally gets pulled backwards. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, he's going to go directly for Incon. Hits him with the landing. Misses the cone, but dashes right on through to take down the mid laner. 1-0-3 for your world champion solo.
And DaretoCare is almost there for the taunt. And yeah, Omega will fall here. There's nothing for him to do. And just to guarantee it. And bang, done.
Lassiz gets credit for that one thanks to the last breath. Omega finds his first death of the game. 3 kills in total for Allegiance. Seems like they've gotten more. They've been more successful escaping bad situations.
I think that's what it is.
Really
and a lot of that having to do with DaretoCare. 3 times now has just barely escaped certain death. And a good turnaround. I think a lot of the trouble there for Omega came from the fact that Mask, for whatever reason, decided to stand in the Defender of Olympus and take more damage than he was able to deal with.
Yeah, that was one of the big issues. And honestly, like you said, Omega was the one that deterred Allegiance from getting that kill onto Mask. If there wasn't a Ratatoskr ready to just dash through everybody on the middle of the tower, that was a dead Thor. Man. But Omega winds up playing frontline with Ratatoskr.
MLC Stealth and Omega. No matter what happens, fate keeps putting them back together on these teams. And honestly, it seems like their chemistry is still there.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's still a small lack between Mask and MLC, but it's grown so much since week 2. And then, of course, Kiki and CycloneSpin are as strong as ever, netting right now a 4-2-5 duo lane as well as a Gold Fury. And we saw a really great ult from Kiki. I mean, if you watched it, it looked like Mask almost had an escape, but he throws out the ult, saves Mask ultimate as well, and it results in a re-turnaround. The EnVy squad game to game is just getting better, and while obviously they're probably scrimming a ton, it really feels like they're not leveling up on the first game of every week that we see them. They're leveling up in the middle of these fights when the real points are on the line.
It speaks to just the way these players play. A lot of them play, the way I say Lassiz plays, just off of instinct.
Yeah.
Right? Where they play off a feel of the game. Specifically, players like CycloneSpin and Omega are very rooted in just like the feel of what's going on. Is Mask up? No.
And Gold Fury? What are we doing here? Is it getting started? It
yes,
is. Wow. And, those. Okay.
Very quick.
That was a lot of crits, 10%.
Yeah. Somebody posted on Twitter and I loved it. I feel like I am more likely to get crits with the 10% golden bow than calling heads on a coin flip.
That was Dust, I think.
It was Dust?
Because I saw that and I block everybody else. So. Lassiz getting away, but is in a fair amount of trouble. Mask looking for it. He's pretty deep. He's baiting his all the way in the back. Omega trying to bait for it. Will find the kill. He's in a bad spot, though. Ultimate coming out. And a reduction as Mask finds a kill onto Incon.
Beautifully crafted distraction play. Mask goes up, and everyone on Allegiance, they point the cameras up, right? Right, Brandon? You've done it. You go, where are you going, Thor? And while everybody's just looking at the blimp in the sky, Omega comes from around the back and just smacks him.
Matty's going to make an attempt here. He's not alone either, but a teleport in from Omega, it seems, will push them away. Gold Fury to fall once again, this time not stolen. EnVy finds a clean objective and now a 6,500 gold lead.
With 18 minutes on the clock, EnVy doing very, very well. Allegiance did the dance for a long time. Can we just bring the graphs back right quick? You can see for a long time, up until about 4 minutes ago, Allegiance was able to go toe-to-toe with EnVy. But very quickly, after a botched gold, despite the botched Gold Fury that Allegiance actually stole, EnVy has still been on a tear.
Matty in some trouble here, forced into his ultimate. There's no healing reduction, so it's likely they're going to give that up. Omega trying to get a little bit more poke in as DaretoCare burns his ult as well. But MLC Stealth and Mask both have their ultimates down right now, so not too much gain, not too much loss. Actually, no, Mask just got his back up. Wow, that was late.
Yep. Again, Omega going for the level 2 heavy hammer as Lassiz picks off Mask in the back line. Omega now surrounded, looking towards Lassiz, less concerned about the location of DaretoCare and Raijin. Lassiz 25%, last breath ticking down on the solo rat. Here's the back, and it's all a bait.
And just barely getting to the sky. He's got to be careful if he decides to reinitiate. No, he's going to jump all the way to the back. MLC looking for the shotgun, and Purification gets used through space and time. Already burned, and Unstable Vortex finds nothing. Stealth in a bad spot.
What a clever play coming out from Lassiz there. Didn't actually wind up killing the rat, but just, I'm backing so I know you hear it.
Oh, speaking of rats, hey, Incon in a weird spot. He did use his teleport already as CycloneSpin joins the fight. DaretoCare might have his taunt up in just a second here. Golden Bow doing a fair amount of damage, but DaretoCare dashing out, and nobody winds up falling after an extended engagement. Oh, Incon dies.
Incon. Wrong spot, bud.
Yeah, I don't know what he was like. That fight was over.
Just
and
the
then
wrong
just
spot.
out of nowhere, just Raijin.
Yeah, just the wrong spot for Incon, so.
0-4.
Ooh. Yeah, mid lane not having a good game despite building defensively into that helmet.
Take a look at Omega here. of course, has the Breastplate of Valor, decided to get that Mantle of Discord, Heavy Hammers online, likely to be a Frost, or will be a Frostbound Hammer eventually. The only other option is leaving it or selling it, and I don't think those are going to be the routes. Once he has this Frostbound, his control gets a lot better because this character doesn't really have CC.
Not at all.
He has a slow right now, which isn't great.
Not quite. The Heavy Hammer, though, recently has been changed, but Omega does this every game, so I want to hover over it just right quick to show you what exactly Omega's getting. Not every single game. That's Matty, but it's the same item. 20 physical power and 150 HP. It's just efficient stats. It's the same item. It's just efficient stats on this item that allows you to use it as a bridge.
Well, also, you have to upgrade it. Cudgel, which it builds off of, is the worst item in the game.
What is it, like 10 power?
No, man, it's 100 health.
That's
For
worse.
750 gold.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Really bad. Just absolute trash. So you want to upgrade that thing as soon as possible. Season 2 level 1 shell was better than that.
Level 1 shell. 10
15 protections. 15?
15?
15.
I'm so glad we don't have to do levels of actives anymore.
Yes, dude.
Thank you, Relics.
Omega's going to take a knock up here, but no one seems to be rotating quickly enough. Mattypocket seems to finally notice. So does Lassiz in a... they're going to stick with it, actually. I thought they were going to reset. They're taking this one down.
Fire Giant will fall. No contest from Allegiance. Omega's up in the sky. So is Cyclone. This is an all-out aerial warfare. Down from the sky comes the Rat. Down from the sky comes the Rocker. And they're going to look directly at Incon. Frontline, quite a different story. A Defender of Olympus used to deal some damage, but Mask still going on. Looking right at Dare. Half HP for the support, but it's all spread out.
Wow.
Different story. Incon finds the 5th kill.
That's really, really important. I mean, not only do they get the perfect Khepri ult, but Mask is able to back here and use his teleport for another full health bar. They're still going. Lass is trying to get away. DaretoCare burning his taunt just to create some space. And with that, there's no one to control the front line. Oceans doesn't have enough damage at level 17, and Mattypocket already pretty low. MLC Stealth getting a massive shot. Omega slowed for a little bit too long, and Lass is not getting away from that one, trying to save it. CycloneSpin credited with that one.
Shell popped, which tells us Envy still want to fight. They help their teammate out from underneath the Titan. All 5 of them still alive. Laz is taking a seat. Incon rezzing right now will be a big boon for this squad.
Kiki's dead.
Yeah, Kiki's going to take a spill. Oceans gets credit, but CycloneSpin answers. So does Mask. Oceans falls as well as the support.
Wow. They have 3 people down on the side of Allegiance, and I don't know how they're going to hold this one. Right side Bird's already down. They're pushing in. Where are their... Oh, they have no creeps coming. They're just going to try to tank this up. Omega does have a fair amount of tankiness. They're going for it.
Yeah, he's going to go right onto Omega. Omega will find his 6th death, as I correct myself from the last call.
Wow.
Mattypocket will also take a spill, 1, 2, and 1, unfortunately for the solo.
So CycloneSpin actually winds up mezzing out the teleport from Incon. I'm pretty sure it doesn't go on cooldown, but Incon unable to, I guess, reactivate it quickly enough before going down. And then, of course, Mask's ultimate comes in, hits Mattypocket, stuns him, puts the wall down for a stun, then MLC Stealth comes in with the combo, putting him through the portal, and then just Hellfire rains down right as Matty hits the ground. CycloneSpin not missing a beat. They take 2 objectives in the mid and the right, and then goes right to the Gold Fury. We'll look at Golden Hand here, and remember to add 300.
Wow, zow, EnVyUs on a tear. CycloneSpin going to go ahead and finish off his build with that 2400. He'll be able to buy...
anything he wants.
Well, he'll finish Titan's Bane for like the 30 gold that it costs.
So 600 taken away. He'll be at 18 if he wants to sell that Golden Bow, which sells for 833, I'm pretty sure. No, he's going to take the Golden Bow.
That's always an interesting choice.
I like Golden Bow.
Do you?
It's 5% movement speed, 35 power, and, crit chance and splash damage. It's great. It's a great item.
I like it as number 6 because what the hell else are you going to buy? Like
right, you're going to sell it for Jotuns.
Yeah.
On
Apollo, not a Jotun. You know what I mean?
And so actually, can we hover on Apollo real quick? So he's at 1.89 attack speed,
which is comfortable.
Right.
I like that. Once you, because as I said before, I don't mind capping the attack speed with the Audacity.
Right.
But once you go over 2, then you start losing a little bit of the power of it.
Yeah.
But 2. Anything 2 or near 2 attack speed, I'm really okay with.
And I like this build. I really do. It gives him a small crit chance just in case. Movement speed's always good, especially on a player who's, I guess, so intimidating. You want to try to burn him down.
The fray
Oh my
has
God.
started. Envy already taking down the bird. Mask is going to land on nobody. But Force Purification out nonetheless onto Oceans. There's the damage from Incon. Big stuff. And Lassiz will finish off Kiki. That's the support. No Khepri ultimate available. Incon's ult already used. DaretoCare is here. Looking for CycloneSpin. He'll be able to get right up on the chariot.
All right, so they're going to try to turn this one around. Omega doing some damage to try to create space. He'll take to the sky again, and the air defense continues. MLC Stealth has a good line here. Are they able to turn this around? CycloneSpin looks like he's coming back in. Omega lands, decent amount of damage. Healing's coming. No, he misses it. Could be in some trouble.
Oh, he's going to get knocked up. That's a big crit, but Mask able to take out 2 with a single spin. CycloneSpin does fall to Lassiz as the ambush is strong enough, but Mask with the triple.
Did you see it? The 4-man Mantle of Discord stun.
Yep.
Omega really bringing it to the front line there. Comes back in, actually winds up teleporting all the way to the front. All 3 birds down and 3 people missing as Mask takes to the sky.
So this is where we kill the Titan. Land on top, hit him with a couple of bangs, and the Titan falls down. And Allegiance drop the first game, where Envy win their 3rd game.
So let's talk about the role swap here.
Yep. Love it.
Dare was godlike.
Love it.
Lassiz was godlike.
Love it.
Incon didn't show up.
It's okay.
He has another chance too.
Sure.
But I think he found 1 kill.
Yeah, it was really rough. Raijin, a rough character to pilot.
Yeah.
You are definitely, teleport. Raijin is more Zeus than Scylla to me.
Okay.
I think he's much more unsafe than a lot of the characters. We saw how long that teleport takes. He was mezzed out. That's an issue. And so, Incon, yes, he underperformed, but he was playing a dangerous character.
There's an animation of the lightning striking and the lightning building up, and that whole lightning build is still technically him. It is still technically Raijin. He is the lightning. So until that disappears entirely, you still have a hurt box. And that's what happened there. But let's talk about the victors here. EnVyUs, especially Mask at the end there with that triple kill.
Yeah, you want to know where Mask is? He's right here. Definitely showing up now. I think we can throw out the, calm down, that was Mask's first game with Envy. I think we can throw it out. Sure. All right, you know what? This triple kill, we all like triple kills. This was one of the less mechanically impressive kills that we actually saw from him. And he picks up 3. Like...
CycloneSpin, though, continues to apply a ton of pressure, playing another god today. That'll be the 3rd god switch that we've seen him make, as well as Omega, actually. But let's take a look at this Apollo. We're going to see him go to the mid lane, and Incon thinks he's safe here.
Sorry, bud.
Look at that space coverage,
that was
too.
Tough, but more importantly, it's the follow-up. He picks up the kill, realizes he's taking the tower, gets the hell out of there, but then turns right around and is able to deal out the damage, which... helps out his team find the Pickler at the end.
So Kiki in some trouble. You're going to see him cancel, Mattypocket cancel, and go for that Armored Umbrella for the kill. That was the correct play, and he made it. But at that point, he was obviously so foregone that there was no way he was coming back in. At this point, Lassiz very low. Check out this damage. Look at that.
See ya. See ya. CycloneSpin on the Apollo. I really like Apollo for a CycloneSpin in comparison to some of the other hunters. He fits that. Or Apollo fits that. Kali just, I'm going to fight you in the face. He
has Mesmerize, he has movement, he has a long-range over-the-wall shot, he has an increased attack speed, a global ultimate to get him into these fights. Apollo and Anhur are really the 2 gods that I'm looking at for Cyclone.
Ho-Yi is a little too, blunt for Cyclone, I feel like. It's just
no fluidity.
Yeah, there's no
like
finesse
fluidity
there. And CycloneSpin is always the guy that's like, hold on, I got to pause my anime. So now CycloneSpin is always the guy that's, I'm going to weave in and out of the team. I'm going to get the kills. But I'm going to do it looking smooth and sneaky like. So we'll see.